Welcome back to the 10th installment of no one's favorite Xbox Live indie game review series, A Week at the Indies. On our fateful previous episode, the forces of evil triumphed and every game earned either a maybe so or, more likely, a no rating, and your host was pushed into a deep, dark pit of dorky despair as he desired nothing more than the delicious dish that is the yes-rated release. This week, however, one game out of 6 new releases stands high enough to snag that coveted 3-letter word trophy and kick the momentum back toward what all gamers want: good, cheap indie fun on our 360s. Our savior this week to stop the streak of sadness is this business simulator, Arcadecraft. In this sophomore offering from Firebase Industries, you journey back to the ancient era that is 1980, and take out a loan to do what every geek around my age has wanted to do since they stepped foot into an arcade. That's right, you get to name, open, and manage an arcade of your own! Arcadecraft lets you pick what games and vending machines you put out on the floor, as well as the price to play and even the difficulty in each game, trying to strike that delicate balance between making money and keeping a reputation as a place to be for after-school entertainment. You also have the option to change the appearance of the floor, walls, pillars, and even the neon lights that we all associate with darkly lit arcade goodness, all to attract customers. To make things lively for you, the player, Arcadecraft keeps you busy by forcing you to empty the coins out of the machines, restart machines in the event of a power failure, and, of course, kick customers out that beat on your machines in a fit of nerd rage. It's not perfect, and the biggest fault is in its pacing. Arcadecraft starts a little slow, gets really fun for a good hour or two, and then all of a sudden there's nothing to do but collect money and toss kids out on their fanny packs for a few hours until the end of your career. That said, with online leaderboards and a developer that has made it clear that he's not done updating the game, Arcadecraft is more than worth a glance from anyone who's ever set foot in what is almost a forgotten form of entertainment, and is at the very least a fun time suck at 240 Microsoft points. In a word, yes. Straight to the other end of the gaming spectrum is where we'll travel to find Labyrinth X, a point-and-click... Wait, scratch that! There's no pointing, just clicking the already laid out options, and by clicking, I of course mean hitting the appropriate button. Speaking of appropriate, you won't find that here. So essentially you have trial and error with no rhyme or reason to the correct choices, graphics rivaled only by Atari 2600 ports of arcade games, and the occasional picture of a busty anime-styled female. I'm pretty sure you can get the same thing, minus the first 2 drawbacks, for free by typing near any word into Google and then telling this labyrinth to just get lost. Our next and last recipient of the Cone of Shame is Protect Our Base, a shooter where you, protect your base from incoming waves of infantry. The problems here are many. 1, enemy fire is kinda dark and difficult to see. There's a reason why a lot of shmups out there use pink or blue bullets, and it's not an effort at an Easter theme. 2, you're going to get hit. A lot. Infantry fire is fast and non-visible, missiles from the constantly dive-bombing planes will usually wrap around to get a second pass at you, and missiles from anywhere in general will explode and damage you just before they touch your ship, making an already difficult-to-dodge projectile even more annoying. You're given interceptor missiles, but I don't know if I succeeded in using even a single one of them effectively. And 3, it took me 2 views of my own videos before I finally caught that little green thing next to your ship as an actual health bar. I mean, it looks like one, but during gameplay, I never noticed a change. Sorry game, but all your base are belong to no. The first and best of the maybe-so games this week is the arena twin-stick shooter Engo. In Engo, you compete against 3 computer-controlled robots to collect the most stars. Stars that spawn randomly are only worth 1 point, while stars you get from stage hazards are worth 10, and the ones you get from fallen opponents are worth 50. Naturally, you know what ones you need to focus on most to win here, and the game helps you out with this by littering the field with various weapons and modifiers. Everything here looks, sounds, and plays fairly well, minus the occasional drop in frame rate. The problem with Engo is that it's single-player only. No local or online multiplayer in a game that's built around competitive play. Even the leaderboards for each of the 6 arenas are local only. It's a fun distraction for the 80 points, but without multiplayer, that's all to remain. One of the things I thought I'd see much more of on the indie service is the digital card or board game. Well, this week we have one in the form of Element, and generally I think the effort is alright. The goal in Element is to collect the different elements, earth, air, fire, and water, from their respective sections of the board. Each player has 4 tokens to spend movement points on each turn, and ending a turn on an element claims it as your own. On the other hand, ending a turn in the always changing hazard zones will cost you that token, and the game ends when either all the elements are claimed or all the tokens are destroyed. The presentation is pretty bland, and the hazard zones don't stick out enough for first-timers, But as someone who makes tabletop games, seeing an original and simple board game on here indeed makes me happy. Much like any other board game, the fun is limited to who you can play with, so if you're playing by yourself, you probably won't have much fun. But if you have a couch of tabletop-loving friends, an element is worth the 80 points, even if only for a night or two. Our final game of the episode is Avatar Maze Game. When people make the case for what games younger kids should play, games like this should be brought up. Now, anyone over the age of 9 isn't going to enjoy this at all, as all you do is walk around mazes collecting coins and stars and eventually finding the exit. No antagonist, no fear of death, nothing but your avatar and things to gather. But for a young child, one that you really don't want to subject to the more graphic parts of this wonderful medium, this is perfect. So my quick review of Avatar Maze Game is this. If you have a kid not quite in his or her double digits yet, let them play the trial. If they like it, spend the $1. If not, don't. And I'm pretty sure the approval or disapproval from a child is a better review of this game than I could ever give you. And once again, we're at the end of an episode. Be sure to visit again next week for more indie goodness. Thanks for watching, I'm Hogasha, and I'll see you next time.